Yes, we're going to do a little bit of a trip with Xardas. And he's out of the game, probably.
You just don't get it, do you?
Yeah, without a doubt, he's immortal. He's not gonna die here. I could have lended you my teleportation stone, just saying. A single fireball is enough to kill one.
The beasts just won't leave us in peace!
Killers and elite killers.
You just don't get it, do you?
I wonder if it's the killers that someone I read the warning about. Basically, once you've caused enough trouble, assassins will be sent after you, that sort of stuff. It would explain a lot, because after you would have no way to really, if you don't have a great combat capability, survive something like that. The positive side, I don't have to do any navigating here. Don't have to look at the map every 5 seconds to try to guess where we're going. Just follow the leader. And I have done enough killing in this land that we shouldn't encounter too much trouble. As I say, the old man is in great shape. I couldn't run this far. Probably possible to just teleport and be there. I don't really doubt that, but I still sort of want to do it this way. The site is on the border, very close to the border from Nordmar, so once we basically get to greener pastures, we should be fairly close there. But the enemies in the Middle Kingdom are no match for me. Probably can't do anything to Xardas either. Yeah, magic is probably a bit too powerful here. Now that we have the fire magic, which we could have acquired a long time ago, yeah, even a fireball is ridiculously powerful. I think it does close to double damage. And I don't think we got any of the better spells from any faction. That's wonderful. Assuming it'll end here, we naturally don't know that. Something will happen. There could be some kind of an extra ending area, like in the other games.
The beasts. Oh. Miserable creature.
Some kind of, maybe we need to... yeah, it depends on where we're gonna get transported. No one knows. Land of the gods, maybe. Holy shit, bagpipe music. Okay, now we're approaching the end. When I start to recognize where we are, then we're very, very, very close.
There's another one of those damn beasts.
What's wrong, Mora? I will stomp that beast! Your teeth are mine now!
Better more to the beasts. No one will miss you.
Yeah, true words. No one will miss you. Why can't I target the enemy?
No one will miss you.
Yeah. Keep going. When we again meet fine stone pillars, then we should be very close to the end. Very, very close. Look. I want some light. Yeah, I know where we are now.
Beasts are everywhere.
There are more of the beasts.
It's not quite sure what path Xardas is taking, but we're basically south enough, more or less, I think. So it's more of a moving to the western edge of the map now.
I hate the beasts.
There are more of the beasts.
It's the demon that's following us. Everyone's trying to fight it. I don't want to know what's causing that sound. Sounds like it's none of my business.
No, you just don't get it, do you?
Come on, stop loading. What is it now? Now this is the final river we need to go over. Don't even need to charge my strikes, then we'll still kill them. Can't really approve of the route he's taking. Going the right direction, but Jesus Christ. You have to run in the middle of the river. Running in soggy boots isn't fun. Now we're getting very close. I think that's the mine of the wolf, pretty much. Yeah. Now we're very close. Maybe a minute or two of full running and we're there. There should be a couple of, yeah, river beasts. Not a problem.
You dare to strike me! No! No!
Yeah, Shaman takes a single shot to
It
kill.
was a mistake. You're no great loss. Miserable creature.
I think that's the final fight, at least until the dawn. So what's waiting for us? Has to be something. It could be also
The beasts just won't leave us in peace! There's another one of those damn beasts!
Paladin, yeah, there's certainly trying to prevent us from getting access there.
I'm gonna let you have it!
So it's going to be a gauntlet no matter what you choose.
I'll show you.
Yeah. Whatever. That's it.
Here we are. It is time to open the portal.
So this means that it's time to bid farewell to the world?
Indeed it is. We will leave the world, but the unknown land awaits us.
Don't mind if I put on some light here. Like to see what I'm doing.
Well then, here we go. We opened the portal to the unknown land, and left this world forever. Whatever awaits us there is another story. The royal troops and paladins will once again become numerous, and grow in power, pride, and strength. For many years, Lee thirsted for the king's life. Because of Robar's betrayal of him, King Robar is dead. Now Lee's revenge is finally complete. Lee will now become the general of the army. His strong leadership will reunite the scattered bands of humans. Gorn will stay in Gotha and rebuild the old castle. It will become a place of refuge for all those not destroyed by the war. The survivors of the war will return to their cities and lands. A long era of peace will flourish in the kingdom of the humans. I have freed Varant from the rule of the Hashishin. Satyrus the Water Mage will lead the nomads on a long journey, and once again they will follow the path of the Eternal Wanderer, as their forefathers did. Lester will finally find his long-sought rest in Braga, and transform the hot sands of the desert into fruitful farmland for his swampweed. Angar is weary of fighting, and will find a peaceful life in isolation among the ruins of Varant. In the mountains of Nordmar, life will soon go on as usual. The barbarians will finally recover the land of their ancestors. It will become quiet in the White Mountains of Nordmar. Milton will remain in the monastery and study the writings of the Ancient Ones. As an old gray man, he will become the wisest of the wise and pass the ancient knowledge on to his students. It will take some time for him to see that my decision was the right one. And Loris? Well, I am sure he will always be right where there is something to be had. Well now, was that all of them? We'll see. Only one thing is certain. All will be well.
Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, the game kicked me out, so back with a few words about Gothic 3. Based on the end there, it's sort of like what you would see in the Fallout gaming series. You have a fairly open world with lots of things to do, lots of factions, and you can choose your size, and depending on your choices, you get an ending cut. Okay. That's fine. That's probably some of them we missed because we didn't interact with them or they were dead. Like, I think Diego, basically, we accidentally killed him at one point. So, or alternatively, he was basically in a city that was totally hostile to us. So if he would have been our ally, the city's defenders would have basically all engaged him and killed him. That's the likeliest scenario. But because of our hostilities with the Hashishin, basically killed him. So we didn't hear anything from him. But the game itself, this is, I think, the lowest rated game of the Gothic series, if you look at the reviews. And I'm guessing it has to have pretty much everything to do with the conditioned game what was released, because this is by far the best game in the series. This has problems, but they're tweaking problems. But a lot of the thing, I'm not saying everything is better than the previous games, but especially that this could have used harder fights. I mean, tougher individual enemies of some kind, like the dragons were totally ridiculously easy in this game compared to what they were in the second game. But although that was after a community patch, and there's a good chance it has done some rebalancing, that's more one of the reasons I do intend to replay this with another type of a character, with the community balancing enabled. See how the game differs. But yeah, I don't see anything major to complain about this. It's a fine looking game. It has good amount of abilities. Most of them are even very useful. 127 learning points unused. But naturally there's some retarded things, like the alchemy skill, you never needing to actually learn any of it, and you're still having more alchemy than you could possibly ever need. So there are definitely problems, but overall this is at the moment, this is technically pretty much flawless. There's no problems in anything, in recording, in playing, no crashing, not even once. Everything's rock solid, and I guess I could compare it to Oblivion, to Elder Scrolls Oblivion, which is sort of similar. Not very massive role-playing game world. Open world where you have a main quest line, but most of the point is to just live in the world, do your thing. You can often play games where you don't even bother with the main quest line for a long time, if at all, because it's not that great of a thing in such a game. Here is sort of the same. But Oblivion is technically far inferior, but again, this is after community patching. Oblivion is fairly hard to get to function rock splitly. So I don't know, that's something I would compare it to, I guess, the most. But I'm not sure which I would rate higher. They're different kinds of beasts, but I sort of in the similar genre. But yeah, this is a good game. It has gripes. That's what it has, and the community patching seeks to address some of them. I don't think I like it. I mean, in the sense that I think it's the perfect thing for this game, but I still think it's going to be probably better because we are at level 52, and I think we sort of, especially at the end there, we just rushed through a lot of things. We ignored a huge amount of requests, and we still are incredibly powerful. We have over 100 learning points unused because why not? No, so there's just no real reason to stick them into anything. Surely they could have held and we could have learned all kinds of different abilities, but when you can just press a button and everyone dies, what's the point? So this is a great game with some tweaking issues, and I think it's probably too easy. Not at the start, but fairly. I guess the difficulty is more or less okay for a bit on the tough side, maybe even at start, but it quickly gets into a decent spot where you have a good chance of fighting almost against anything, and the later game is just you can page roll over the keyboard and you're probably going to win. But that's not to say that they did push us quite hard on the later parts. The bigger problem was that I couldn't get access to a lot of the spells, so in fact we had to fight with spells that we've had probably 20 to 30 levels. Which is, I still don't know how you're supposed to get them. No idea. It doesn't matter in a way, you don't need them, so what does it matter? But yeah. Minor gripes. That's the thing this game has a lot of. But it's a good game. It's a very good game. Very, very, very good game. I wouldn't say it's my favorite of this type of open world role-playing games. I still think there are some games that do it better. The Fallout series or modern Fallout series is better. I think Skyrim is better. But this is a competitive product, and the fact that it is sort of a part of a more or less solid role-playing game series is a plus. It sort of always adds value to the fact that you can play a hero through multiple games, even though it doesn't directly translate. It has you get an increased attachment to the character because it's you know he's seen through a lot. Maybe at this point this guy has seen maybe a little bit too much, because even he doesn't give a shit about the conversations at this point. And even though that's true, that's probably not what you want to hear in a game, because it's not very engaging in a sense. If your main character doesn't give a shit, it's easy for the player to not give a shit either. So I don't think that's if you're gonna do it that way, I think you would have to add more humor or sarcastic little quips there. Something that it's not just a lack of giving a shit, but it has to be something else. But yeah, still good enough of a game that I'm going to basically play through again immediately. So very, very solid game. Definitely add it to my favorite list of role-playing games I've ever played. And very happy that you can still go through old games and find these things.